China, a heavily populous nation that sits in East Asia, boasts of its vast territory and complicated circumstances. What wisdom is required to run such a big country? How can its leaders navigate an effective way to govern the country? Since its reform and opening up, China's practice of touching the stones while crossing the river has gained success. The grassroots exploration model has also heavily relied on top-level design, a top-down governance style that coordinates reforms as a whole. The top-down cycle injects impetus into new rounds of reforms and offers wisdom on how to achieve goals. In a key meeting which ended in October, the leadership of the Communist Party of China highlighted the crucial role of the governance system and capacity to pursue modernization. Agriculture is the foundation of China. Land, a fundamental issue concerning all Chinese, had tested rulers' ability for 1,000 years. After the establishment of People's Republic of China, the land system under socialism came into being. After the reform and opening up, China adopted and steadily spread the family contract responsibility system. Yet, new problems including inefficient use of rural homestead land occurred as urbanization is speeding up. A new round of land reforms is brewing. Anhui, a major agricultural province in China, has also been a pilot area for the farming revolution since the reform and opening up. Xiaogang village in Anhui carried out rural land operation reform in 1978. Over 40 years later, rural land rights reform is on the agenda. Jingde County pioneered this round of reform, vowing to set up an effective system to transfer the land rights of houses farmers built. Wang Wusi lives in a remote and mountainous Sanfeng village in Jingde County, Anhui Province. He wanted to move to the neighboring Dali village, where his grandson could have better access to education. He bought a 3-story house owned by Fang Shenglian, a Dali villager who planned to relocate to Jingde County. Wang was very satisfied, except for a worry that he could only live in the house without the right to own it under old rural housing regulations.
因为我是外村的，外村在这边买就是讲房产证过户啊，过不了的，住在这里都不踏实啊。
This situation is very common across China's rural areas. It's even getting more complicated amid quickening urbanization that drives villagers into cities and leaves houses empty and farmland idle. By which means did China's central government notice those issues and put forward solutions?
一直以来，我们制定公共政策的过程，从毛泽东开始就非常重视调查研究。换句话说呢，倾听群众的呼声，到实地、到基层、到群众中去，听取他们意见以后，包括一些专家学者会向中央，就是提出好多政策建议。
The land rights for houses that farmers have built among issues was a priority at the Central Rural Work Conference in 2017. The Chinese government vowed to further clarify those rights in 3 aspects: the rights to ownership, contract, and management. Under the new rules, the rights to contracts and management are divided, which allows farmers to transfer the management rights to others, creating new ways to raise their income.
宅基地三权分置，实际上它有很多问题的。第一，我一户多宅了；第二，宅基地是由集体分配的，不允许私下买卖。所以总书记提出宅基地三权分置，其实就是给我们基层来解决这样一个问题给了我们最好的答案。宅基地的所有权归集体，把资格权和使用权把它相剥离。
Jingde County carried out its homestead rights reform steadily. Its measures focused on issuing proper rights to villagers, which can revitalize idle land and housing resources, increasing farmers' incomes, and regulating the transfer of rural land and houses.
首先我们做的第一点探索，把整个的家底的情况要摸清楚。那么在这里面，我们有几个创新，那就是载明了山权的权利人。我们把村集体作为所有权人载在镇上，我们把方盛联作为资格权人也载在镇上，把王五四作为使用权人也载在镇上，对三方的权利进行了一个法定的确权。因为我们搞改革最终是为了群众嘛。所以路西村山权分治以后很多使用权放活了，他这些农户宅基地使用权和房屋的所有权，他们放在一起做了一个民宿协会，每一户每年征收最少是3到4万块钱。
The private lodging association in Luxi village is an example of the success of Jingde County's rural homestead land reform.
这些民宿客栈呢，以前都是老房子。在打工回乡后呢，我想用自己闲置的宅基地把避些钱呢。那个时候呢，乡村旅游刚刚起步，来陆续的游客呢很多，起盘和住宿都不很方便，所以我就用自己宅基地进行了内外翻修，装饰成了民宿客栈。没想到生意一下就火起来。但是我心里一直有个担心，当时村里的民宿产权并不明晰，直到去年，金德县试行宅基地山权分治改革，经过政府全面摸底和确信办证，我也拿到了不动产权证书。自从拿到那个产权证，我心里真的很高兴。对以后的，比如讲拿了不动产证抵押贷款扩大民宿更有信心了。
Some other rural areas have followed the example of Jingde County in exploring the reform of rural homestead land and succeeded. Their experiences are being copied by many more villages.
农业问题是中国稳定与发展的基础，因为你有14亿人口，怎么样把就是三农问题搞好，确实是重大的国计民生问题。另一个就是国有企业，从这计划经济时代，国有企业是中国工业的一个主体吧，国有企业基本上承担着工业发展、社会发展、经济发展，包括这个技术发展的中心任务。
In the early days of the founding of the People's Republic of China, state-owned assets and state-owned enterprises, or SOE, made outstanding contributions to giving priority to the development of heavy industry and industrialization as soon as possible. As the eldest son of the Republic, SOEs are the pillars of socialism with Chinese characteristics and the backbone of the development of the national economy. On December 18, 1978, the third plenary session of the 11th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China was held in Beijing, proposing to allow enterprises to have more autonomy in operations and management, and to adjust the relationship between state and enterprise. The prelude to the deepening reform of SOE was officially opened. However, the reform focused on delegating powers and benefits at this stage still failed to solve a series of fundamental problems of state-owned enterprises as the mainstay of market operations. In 1998, the losses of state-owned enterprises in China were as high as 40%. How to resolve this became the biggest challenge in China at the time.
在98、99、2000年这几年是整个中国国有企业改革最艰难的日子。那个时候，大量的下岗分流，大量的企业关停并转，对那个时候的阵痛我们还清晰的记得。所以就有了朱镕基总理当时提出的3年攻坚克难，无论是前面是火焰山还是刀山火海，都要跨过去嘛。
While entrepreneurs fought in the front line of SOE reform, the state began to explore the management system of state-owned assets. In 2003, the State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission of the State Council was established to further rationalize the management mechanism of SOE. Since the 18th National Congress of the Communist Party of China, the reform of SOEs has officially entered a new stage of development that combines top-level design with grassrooted exploration. It has eliminated the disputes over benefit distribution between departments and localities that have resulted from the lack of a clear blueprint for the overall reform of SOEs in the past 30 years.
国有企业改革，首先要研究案例，要就是实地调研，分析矛盾和问题的这种症结和关键点所在，而后相关部门才会提出一些改革措施和改革方案，而后进一步的提交这个相关的领导部门啊，比如说是省改组啊、人大常委会啊、国务院啊等等。
In this new round of reforms, state-owned capital supervision has entered the era of capital management from assets management. The establishment of state-owned capital investment and operation companies has become the most crucial part. In 2016, China Changtong Group was officially selected as a pilot state-owned capital operating company.
什么叫资本运营公司？因为我们在国内找不到参考的样本，中央国务院提出的这样一种管资产到管资本的这种转变，那运营公司到底怎么样来组建，怎么样来操作？做了很多研究，也出了很多研究报告。其实在这个过程当中呢，一个国资委啊，相关的部门啊，也提了很多建议。
After exploring, the investment fund was established as the primary function of the state-owned capital operating company. This function implies government guidance, enterprise investment, as well as market-oriented investment means through which the industrial layout adjustment, the supply-side structure reform, and the mixed ownership reform in SOE can be promoted. For Chengtong, becoming a new round of SOE reform pilot is both an opportunity and challenge. As one of the important concepts in China's reform and opening up process, experimental field has recorded many important processes of China's reform and opening up, especially in the field of state-owned enterprise reform, without any reference experience.
中国改革开放以来，之所以能取得很大的成效，一个重要的原因还在于我们重视实验性，绝不是盲动，绝不是拍脑袋，从点线到面，最后才能全国统一来执行的一个制度和一个政策。
Reform has not succeeded, but we need to forge ahead. In the past, SOEs have witnessed the growth of the Republic. Now, many pace setters like Chengtong are striding forward on the road of reform. In the future, they will continue to make their own contributions to promoting high-quality economic development, promoting comprehensive deepening reform, and enabling the people to live a happier life.